Welcome to the Self-Help Workshop with your host, John Farr. Episode 31, Wealth Can Only Increase. Hello, self-helpers. Welcome to the show. I trust everyone is doing well and making the best of it. Now, this is the first episode of 2021, and I'm excited about it. Now, we're going to take an idea from Buckminster Fuller and talk about it. Now, some people may say this is a big idea, a very deep idea, and that's fine, and just stay with me here because it's an important one, and it's one I just really feel like I need to share, and maybe that's just because I'm trying to still get my head around it. So anyway, this idea was given to me from Marshall Thurber, who spent 10 years with Bucky. Now, Marshall has absorbed vast amounts of Bucky's wisdom, and he openly shares it. Now, you can visit Marshall at burklyn.earth, and that's BURKLYN.earth, and there's a lot of blogs on there, and you can get a lot of Marshall's wisdom just on his blog pages there. So I really suggest, if you like this post and you've liked some other posts where I've mentioned things about Buckminster Fuller, then I'd suggest you go check out burklyn.earth, and you may be pleasantly surprised and enlightened. All right, so I'm going to read a passage that Marshall gave me, and then we can talk about it. Now, this is called Wealth Can Only Increase. Here we go. Wealth consists of physical energy as matter or radiation combined with metaphysical know-what and know-how. E equals mc squared. We have learned, therefore, that the intellectual or metaphysical half of wealth can only increase. The metaphysical wealth can only increase with each reemployment, and the more intelligently and frequently it is reinvested, the more rapidly it increases. So, pretty simple yet profound, and I will read it again. Wealth consists of physical energy as matter or radiation combined with metaphysical know-what and know-how. E equals mc squared. We have learned, therefore, that the intellectual or metaphysical half of wealth can only increase. The metaphysical wealth can only increase with each reemployment, and the more intelligently and frequently it is reinvested, the more rapidly it increases. So, for me, the first big idea here is that wealth has two elements to it, the physical and the metaphysical, right? They combine. Wealth is a function of physical and metaphysical. And the physical is easier to understand, right? Physical wealth can be anything physical value. You know, we think of it in terms of money, stock, gold, silver, your health, your home, your car, any assets of value. And so this first part is that we're physical beings and we have physical things representing our wealth. And these physical things can both be increased and decreased. And we all know that. We've all had instances where our wealth, including our health, has both increased and decreased. So it's the second element, the second piece that is part of wealth overall. And that second element is the idea of the metaphysical. Well, you might say, what is the metaphysical? And this is where we go a little deep, because it's not a word that's used often in our daily lives. And so Merriam-Webster defines metaphysical as abstract philosophical studies, a study of what is outside objective experience. Now, as Bucky said, metaphysical is your know-how and know-what. It's your awareness, your intuition, your inner guidance system, your intellect. It's everything that exists inside your inner non-physical world, like the psychic world is metaphysical. Now, Merriam-Webster included a note with it, which is worth mentioning, and because I've looked up a lot of words and I don't often see something, like a note like this. So I want to read this note because it's just very fascinating that they put that as part of this definition. Just as physics deals with the laws that govern the physical world, such as those of gravity or the properties of waves, metaphysics describes what is beyond physics, the nature and origin of reality itself, the immortal soul, and the existence of a supreme being. Opinions about these metaphysical topics vary widely, since what's being discussed can't be observed or measured or even truly known to exist. So most metaphysical questions are still as far from a final answer as they were when Plato and Aristotle were asking them. Right? Pretty good, isn't it? So I like what they said and how intriguing that last sentence is, where they say most metaphysical questions are still far from a final answer. Well, fellow Earthian Buckminster Fuller provided us a final answer as far as metaphysical wealth is concerned, and that is metaphysical wealth can only increase. This is such a huge idea. It's transformational in a lot of ways. No matter what happens to you physically, your metaphysical wealth can only increase. What makes this transformational is that you have complete control over your metaphysical wealth. The things you learn from experience, you get to keep and learn from and also share with others. In keeping your experience, your wealth cannot decrease. You cannot lose what you've learned through experience. It can only increase. And so the idea behind this is to reinvest what you've learned from experience, and this increases your metaphysical wealth. Your know-how, know-what is what we're talking about. And so for the workshop today, let this idea of metaphysical wealth stay with you. Let it comfort you knowing that your wealth can only increase. Now, to put it in action, find places in your life where you can take your know-how and know-what and reinvest them. It could be anything from writing a book to fixing up your home to investing in the stock market. You have experiences that have provided you know-how, and the more intelligently you re-employ them, the faster your wealth, both physically and metaphysically, can increase. Did you ever hear that saying, I know what to do? It's just a matter of doing it. Well, I think that plays into this whole idea of metaphysical wealth. Like we have know-how and know what. And, just intelligently re-employ them. And the faster your wealth can increase. And so, as humans in an ever-expanding universe, this is what we're designed to do. This is how we continue to grow and expand. And as always, have fun doing it and do not be afraid to share what you've learned. For the Self-Help Workshop, I'm John Farr, wishing you all the best. Take care.